Hey, it's Soul, and this is Warcraft Weekly. We're not going to do any B-roll this time. It's just going to be me because, hey, it's a holiday weekend and we got to go. So you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catching me where I'm live. I'm going to rapid fire through a couple of items real quick and then get to the big rant. So strap in and relax. Midnight launches March 2nd, 2026, and I told you so. It should be a surprise to no one, but with this, we can now make appointments or plan vacations and start speculating when Season 2 of Midnight is coming because, oh my god, this expansion is already dragging on for so long. Anyway, transmog lovers might feel vindicated after Blizzard got rolled with tons of feedback over their initial rollout of transmog updates on the beta. The cost of unlocking outfit slots, it's being slashed by 80%, and instead of 20 outfit slots, we're going to be getting 50, which might still translate to an overall cheaper unlock, especially for those who only need like a handful of different outfits. The real news, though, is the cost of transmogging a full outfit. That's going to go down by about 60%, according to Blizzard. Now, note the wording that's being used there. Like some slots like weapons, they might still be pretty expensive compared to how they are now. So the more casual folk who transmog at a whim, it's still probably going to sting a bit, but it's not going to be nearly as bad considering we'll have these permanent outfits to offset the costs. Still, let's keep giving feedback when those changes come in, well, a future build. So today I'm going to be doing a bit more mental prep, kind of talking to myself about early access player housing, and I just so happen to be sharing my thoughts aloud with you. And here we go. I've obviously been very, very excited for housing. I've been talking about it for many, many years, and it's all been building up to this moment. But I'm not going to let myself be blind to like everything that's coming. So, this is going to be pretty ranty. Like I said, I'm going to try to be organized and we'll see how that goes. In just a few days, housing is going to be live, but it's going to come in this early access form. You know how we often half joke that WoW is a paid beta test, and in this case, we couldn't be closer to this being true. There are people out there who are buying Midnight or pre-ordering Midnight just for the early access. There are people who are trying out World of Warcraft for the very first time just because of player housing. The nature of early access is, the product is incomplete, it's still in development, but this is the first time WoW's trying something like this, where they're releasing a partially finished feature, this many months in advance. Like imagine if Midnight were to actually launch like right now, but season 1 of Midnight didn't start until mid-March, this many months later. That's sort of the vibe happening here. Folks are going to come in on the one hand super excited to try something brand new, and on the other hand, really disappointed over what didn't quite make it in and what hasn't even been officially announced. Like I'm talking about what should be basic functionality, like duplicating items or an undo button while, these are tools while building a house. Folks called for import and export options. We're not sure if lighting is going to be fixed and if outdoor decor budgets are going to go up during early access. We don't have patch notes and, well, they might appear while I'm talking. The damn gimbal is still one color. I don't know if there's a trademark on like those 3 colors on the gimbal or if Blizzard's legal team is still trying to work that out. I don't know. The orc and human exterior houses, those are our only options. And I'm still waiting to be able to place weapons, weapon racks and all that stuff, dressable dummies. We've seen those in the teaser video. What I say in this recording, like I said, it might be addressed in an announcement like today or just a few days from now, but it's hard to say. What's coming in the patch is singularly the biggest feature ever added to World of Warcraft. It's going to empower players to create in a way the game hasn't allowed before. We're going to see user-generated content for the first time. Like we've been seeing wild creations and these very impressive and thoughtful designs with what's been made available, and it's playable, but it's half-cooked too. The challenge Blizzard faces with early access housing is that they can't exactly treat this like the beta or the PTR. Like if there's an issue, can it be resolved in a hotfix? Can they be so aggressive that they patch player housing stuff each week like it's a weekly build? Outside of really big issues, I doubt that folks would be very cool with 8 to 12 hour long maintenances every week over the next 2 months. I mean, imagine the many folks who don't give a hoot about player housing. Obviously, they wouldn't appreciate that. Okay, most of Europe gets to sleep through most of that anyway, but what we're going to get Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, is going to be, it's going to be as done as it's going to get for the next 8 or so weeks when the pre-patch lands. And then everything they have planned to have in, it's going to get crammed into that patch. And, you know, that still won't be nearly enough to satisfy gamers who want their race included, who want pets and their warband people running around their house. I can make an hour-long video just listing out all the things we want from housing, and I'd only be getting started. I guess as a commentator, I'm readying myself for a lot of folks voicing disappointment, and we got to navigate this really stormy weather while a lot of folks are also going to be crazy excited, and it's going to overwhelm the senses, and I'm just going to want to retreat to my cafe, which I'd be rebuilding for like, I think the 3rd or 4th time now. One of the most frequent comments I've seen in this housing conversation comes from those who are very proudly boasting they couldn't care less for housing. You know, something, Barbie Sims, nope, that's not Warcraft. And they're right, because we haven't had anything like this before. You know, this is progression that has nothing to do with player power. What the hell is that, right? Demonstrating skill that can't be mathematically measured or put onto a leaderboard. I mean, that sounds totally useless, right? But one of the most frequent comments I've seen when housing is showcased, it comes from those who are blown away over what's possible with housing. You know, that's what's appealed to me so much after the early previews revealed that housing would be so much more than like placing a preset object on a hook or something like it's a Garrison Plus feature. The WoW team created a canvas with these room layouts, and decor is like one of the many brush tools that we have. It's the total opposite of the mathematical calculation that is combat, which is fun, right? Don't get me wrong. What's coming Tuesday, though, is not more of the same thing, as in it's not more combat. It's not a delve to complete. It's not a warfront to queue up for and then get the rewards until they run out and then you're done. What's coming is the WoW sandbox, you know, minus combat, because, I mean, hey, we got to start somewhere, right? This is a new kind of reward and a new kind of non-combat gameplay. You know, it's not about following an optimal rotation in a scripted encounter. It's not a duel of reflexes in PvP combat. This is a gameplay where we look inward and we stimulate our imaginations. It's an invitation to explore our creativity well beyond just our transmog, or the mount that we sit on, or the title above our heads, or the pet that's walking around behind us. You know, another way to put it, I guess, we're gonna see a new kind of pro WoW gamer. But in this case, it doesn't matter what class you roll, or if you downloaded that latest Weekora Platinator, you know, whatever pack. Skill and dedication and creativity, they're going to separate the hobbyist from the hardcore. We're going to see new kinds of pro creators who might know next to nothing about their class, but they're also super toxic elitists, right? They're talking down the scrubs whose use of those same wall accents, it's like, oh my god, it's so freaking basic. Well, we're already seeing these growing communities of enthusiasts and players from different walks of WoW life. It's like a new circle is being added to this giant Venn diagram. You know, we get to see this new intersection of player tastes between existing communities. Like, how many folks are super into PvP and they hate pets, but they are totally jazzed for housing? We've seen the completionist community compete on the Data for Azeroth website and other websites. You know, that's the closest thing to a leaderboard collectors have. And housing is going to add a new sense of prestige in the form of, you know, whatever it is that they make. And then the industry of WoW is responding too. You know, we have add-ons that are supporting this new form of collection. MMO Champion and now Wowhead, they're competing to be the most robust site, to, you know, the best go-to site for housing, because, you know, you got to get them clicks. And there's no shortage of community-driven events and contests that are sprouting up. You know, they're gearing up ahead of this patch. So the hype is building, and it's building fast. And I'm going to be here for the long haul. But hopefully not too long of a maintenance, and I hope to hit the ground running setting up the guild neighborhood, and then probably watch as the chaos ensues, as I very slowly get started with housing stuff. It's going to be fun, and I hope you join me. And that's the show. So let's wrap it up real quick with a big thanks to everyone who's joined me on this whole housing journey. It's taken a few years and, well, now it's just around the corner. I hope you'll continue to watch me do these live tours and the featured videos where I put a spotlight on players' creativity. To our valued patrons, I'm grateful for you guys sticking around for as long as you have. And then, of course, there's you, viewer. You made it to the end. You fed the algorithm. So if you could, please like this video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a good holiday, and stay breezy.